Good.
Hello everyone, we want to welcome today to our office Miss Elizabeth Vermette. She's the CEO of Good Shepherd of Northern Virginia. Elizabeth, welcome to You've Got Made and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here at your offices and meet
Thank
everyone.
you, and I hope your feet will be get better soon.
The boot comes off in a month.
So tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit bio about you, and how you end up having being part of this nonprofit organization.
Yeah, so I've lived in Loudoun County for 17 years. And my background is in government relations and public policy. And I have two children, and my son went away to college 2 years ago, and so I started looking for a different opportunity. And I happened to see an ad in the paper that Good Shepherd was hiring for a CEO, and we live about 5 minutes from the Ashburn store, and we donate things there. We donated things there all the time, multiple times a year. But when I read the job description, I saw that the proceeds from the thrift stores went to fund 7 shelters for women and children in Loudoun County. I had no idea about that. So I applied for the job. You know, it took a little while, but thankfully they decided on me, and I have been the CEO for 6 months.
Wow, so you are brand new.
Brand new.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about Good Shepherd. So what do you do, guys? I know you have also a different program, and you have like 4 stores, correct?
Correct. Yeah, so Good Shepherd has been in Loudoun County for 40 years. And for 40 years, we've been serving homeless people and near homeless people in Loudoun County. The proceeds from our thrift stores, as you mentioned, primarily fund the shelters. So we have a thrift store in Ashburn, on Ashburn Road. We have a thrift store in Leesburg on Market Street. We have a thrift store in Sterling near the Dulles Town Center. We have a brand new store in Chantilly right off of 28 and 50. And then on top of that, like I said, we have 7 shelters. So we have an emergency shelter. So everyone who comes into our program goes into the emergency shelter. They can stay in the shelter for up to 90 days. If we have space in our transitional housing and we feel like they're a good fit for us, sometimes people just aren't a good fit. But if they are a good fit and we have space for them, then we put them into one of our transitional homes where they can live for a year. As part of that, they do not pay rent, but they have to be part of our program. And so they'll do things like we do job training with them, we do career counseling, we do health and nutrition, we do financial management with them, we do some parenting classes. And then they also put aside a percentage of their monthly income so that when they come to the end of the year, they have an escrow account and they have some money that they can use for first and or last month's rent.
Okay, so they will, how long they need to stay with you with the place what you are giving them? Is that like certain time they need to be living there before they move on their own?
So they can be in the shelter, the emergency shelter for 90 days, and then they can move into a transitional house for up to a year.
Okay, and after 1 year, after they had the program with you, they will be kind of like ready to move and go on their own.
That's the hope. The hope is that they're ready to move on their own. And also, to be honest with you, we spend a lot of time talking with them and working through building community and helping them fix relationships, because one of the biggest problems is these women don't have a community, right? So they have maybe broken relationships with their immediate family members. They don't have friends that they can rely on. So we work with them to rebuild some of those relationships. And a lot of times people will go back to having a family member help them, or we move them into another program. Like we work very closely with Tree of Life, for example, for some of their housing. So
we're actually supporting them right now for the holiday too.
Oh yeah,
they do great work. Tree of Life.
They do great work.
Organization. What's something, I know you've been only 6 months there, Elizabeth, and I'm been following your page, and I see the great things so far you're doing. What is something that you did accomplish, you are proud on for the last six months?
So for me, it's really, like I said, we primarily focus on women and children. We do help families, but primarily our audience is women and children. And for me, to be honest, it's really the children. I have a passion to help the children, and I'll tell you why. So my first day, I went and visited the shelters, and I was at the emergency shelter, and there was a pregnant mom moving into the shelter with a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old and a half full garbage bag, and that was all they had. And, just thinking about my experience being pregnant and the experience that my children had and the resources and access to things that my children had, right? So one of the things that I immediately implemented was, it seems silly, but to give every child who comes into the shelter gets a backpack with a toy and a book and a flashlight and a blanket, so it's theirs.
Yeah.
Right? So they come in and feel like people want, they feel loved and they feel welcomed into the shelter. So I would think that that's something that I'm most proud of. Yeah.
Yes. This is awesome. What about events? I know you do a lot of events during the year. Can you talk to us about? And I know that you did share with me about a couple of new things you're planning next year.
Yeah. So we just had, really exciting, we just had an event last night at our Sterling store right around the corner, where we hosted 20 families from Sterling Elementary School, and we gave them $100 vouchers, and they were able to buy clothing, toys, household goods. We had some bears donated from Build-A-Bear Foundation, so everybody got a brand new bear, and then we were able to give them all a bag of food. It was a great night, and that's something that we hope to be able to expand next year and do at all of our stores every quarter. We are having a fundraiser in January called Handbags for Hope, where it's going to be at the Belmont Country Club January 7th, where everyone who comes brings a gently used handbag, and then we will sell those handbags in our stores and on our eBay store to raise money for a new children's program in 2024. And so my goal for 2024, like I said, is to really kind of focus on the children. We do have programming for the moms and the women, which makes sense, right? But the goal is to create a program for the children so that when the moms are doing career counseling or the moms are doing financial education, there's a program for the children. So maybe it's music or art therapy. If you think about, like, when I think back to my children being little and all the things we did, art classes, swim lessons, dance classes, there's no money for any of that.
Absolutely.
Right?
And nothing for free and nothing cheap.
Right. So developing, working with local businesses and applying for grants so that the children who are in our program can do those things as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell me a little bit, so that's kind of like the key things, what you are trying to accomplish for 2024.
A children's program, really, yeah. And then also, like I said, expanding the voucher program in our stores because, it's hard to believe in the richest county in America, right? But there were almost 2,000 homeless children in Loudoun County schools last year, 1,800. And if you think about 1,800 homeless children plus 4 children, we would really like to be able to expand our voucher program so that we can have special shopping nights like we did last night, VIP, where we open it up, it's a party atmosphere, and people don't feel funny about using the vouchers.
Yeah.
It was, they had personal shoppers, so they had people helping them, so it was really fun, but it got them things that they needed.
Yeah.
Especially at this time of year, boots, snow pants, coats, socks, all of that.
And we will talk a little bit about, You've Got Maid will be doing a toy drive in January and February for you guys, for the children. We're excited about that, and hopefully everybody will participate on this, not only our clients, also our community. We will love your support on this. And we will be looking for new or used toy, but in good shape.
Right, absolutely.
In good shape. How everybody who is listening to us right now, how can everyone get involved? Especially businesses like us. We know there is a lot in our mind we want to do, and we want to support you next year. It's one of our goals. But what are you looking for?
Yeah, so there are a lot of ways that people can help. 2 easy ways are to shop in our stores and to donate items to the stores. If for a business, we can work with you so that you could do a donation drive on your property and have your employees drop things off, then we can pick them up. So those are 2 really easy things that businesses can do. We're always looking for volunteers for our stores.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, like bringing your team in to our different stores and volunteering. That's hugely important. We do have opportunities during the course of the year to help on our properties, especially if you think about, landscaping needs seasonally. We always have that.
Yeah.
And even potentially, like, we have some stairs that need to be replaced or a house that needs to be painted. That's a great thing for a business to do with their employees as team building, right? And then, like I said, we do have that fundraiser in January. So anyone who wants to come to the Handbags for Hope event, if people are interested in sponsoring, please reach out because, like I said, the proceeds of that are going to be dedicated to helping us develop a program for children in 2024.
Can you share with us the location of your stores?
Yeah, so there's a store in Ashburn on Ashburn Road, right near the fire station. And then there's one in downtown Leesburg on Market Street in the AutoZone Plaza. And then there is a store in Sterling, right near the Dulles Town Center in the plaza where Mission Barbecue is. And then we have our brand new store in Chantilly. It's been open for about 6 months, and it is when you get off of 28, it's right there at the 28 and 50 intersection.
So 4 stores, that's great. Yeah. Are you planning, guys, to expand to 1 additional store next year?
No, we're not next year. We're going to be focusing. We also have an eBay store.
Okay.
So because we get a lot of amazing donations, and the intention of the stores is to provide goods and services for people who need them. So we get some, we got a suit last week donated, $1,500 Armani suit new with tags.
Oh.
We're not going to sell that in our store. We put it on our eBay store.
Yeah.
Right. So I would also, if you're looking for cool, unique things, check out our eBay store because there are a lot of really cool antiques on there as well.
Oh, that's great. Elizabeth, this is so awesome. I mean, what you're doing, guys, is so powerful.
Well, I am so glad
thank you.
I met you.
In only 6 months, you're doing already all these things. I mean, this is a huge. And like I always say, the community needs us. And I know a lot of people need help. We have a lot of homeless people, and finding homes for them and helping them. And the program, what you give, guys, this is incredible. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about, I think people just don't realize that the need exists in our county. We have so many generous people and businesses that once we tell people about what we're doing, people want to jump in and help.
Yes, and I hope after this interview today you will have more participation. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Take care.